Donald Trump today calling for a common sense response to gun violence, saying there is growing support from both parties when it comes to meaningful, a word he used repeatedly, background checks.
I can tell you there's tremendous goodwill for meaningful, I'm talking about meaningful, add that word, meaningful background checks. We're really looking at very meaningful background checks. Meaningful, I think meaningful background checks.
Exactly what the meaningful measure would look like isn't clear. This after 2 mass shootings over the weekend killed 31 people and injured dozens more in 2 U.S. cities. In the wake of the violence, Trump has pointed the finger at video games, the internet, and mental illness.
It's a big mental illness problem. And the gun doesn't pull the trigger. A sick mind pulls the trigger.
This week, though, the American Psychiatric Association condemning the links being made between mental illness and the loss of life from gun violence, saying in part the overwhelming majority of people with mental illness are not violent and far more likely to be the victims of violent crime than perpetrators of violence. In February, the Democrat-controlled House of Representatives passed background check legislation for gun sales, but it was stalled by the Republican-controlled Senate. Yesterday, Republican Senate leader Mitch McConnell rejected a request from more than 200 U.S. mayors to call the Senate back early to consider gun legislation. But according to Trump, some movement could be on the way.
I spoke to Mitch McConnell yesterday. He's totally on board. He said, I've been waiting for your call. He is totally on board.
On Twitter today, the U.S. president posting, I have also been speaking to the NRA and others so that their very strong views can be fully represented and respected. The National Rifle Association opposes extensive checks. Trump leaving D.C. this morning to host campaign fundraisers, not attending a White House talk today on violent extremism online with representatives from a number of internet and technology companies. The meeting called in the wake of the shootings in Dayton and El Paso. And new details on the El Paso shooting. The Washington Post among those reporting that the suspect said he was targeting Mexicans, and he confessed he was the shooter upon surrendering. That's according to details in arrest documents. Now, authorities had already linked the suspect to a racist anti-immigrant statement posted online before the attack. The El Paso shooting, it just one of more than 250 mass shootings in the U.S. so far this year. That's according to the Gun Violence Archive, a nonprofit group tracking incidents in which at least 4 people other than the shooter were hurt or killed.